Hi guys, and welcome to this week's collective reading. This is bringing us through the new year. It wasn't my intention with pulling the cards, but it is certainly what the energy in the cards is bringing through. So we start with the card of surrender, which is perfect for this full moon energy that we're currently still under, that's moving into the waning moon period over the next day. And this is a time of releasing, right? And it says right here on the card, release misaligned energies and retune to your truth. And we've got the symbology of being cleansed by the waters, which this full moon energy really pours down into us. And with the purity of the unicorn coming in to help us in this realignment to our personal truths. This is about surrendering not to others, but to your own self. The release is the parts of you that create a mask, right? And letting it wash away to stand in your true power. And this is really being supported by the Nine of Wands, transitioning into the Queen of Wands, holding up this surrender energy, right? This is lots of fire energy under this watery card, which funnily enough is how it is in our bodies with the solar plexus, our fire energy being seated right under the heart or our waters, right? But the Nine of Wands is our final reassessment before completion. So Wands is normally a very forward movement of doing. But the Nine of Wands carries the energy of taking that moment to pause and look back, right? And this is to serve the purpose of learning from your mistakes and successes as you finish up, right? Already preparing yourself for the next new beginning. This is like if you're working on a project and you get to the very end, right? You haven't finished, but right at that end point, you kind of take that pause and you start to reflect and think on, what would you do again next time and what wouldn't you do, right? And these are these thoughts that already start sinking in before completion, right? This is the time to think on what you might do differently next time to improve the results in the future, right? So you're not necessarily finished with the current task at hand, but you are at those final stages where you begin to pause and reflect. So what are you looking to let go of right now as we end this cycle? We've got the new year coming in, right? What didn't serve us that we don't want to repeat in 2024? What can we surrender now, leave in 2023? So as we complete this year, we can step into 2024 in this Queen of Wands energy, right? Even knowing that this start will grow into the King of Wands, right? This is really us looking back now so that we can really be in a strong fire energy next year. And we're really letting the waters here wash out any fires that aren't serving us, right? It's funny because this Nine of Wands doesn't even look like a fire card, right? Because the water energy is really coming in through this reflective energy that the Nine of Wands brings in to make sure that we are surrendering anything that we don't want to relight. So this is like putting little fires out. And the Queen of Wands, she's just in control of what she does, right? She has a strong presence. She's very charismatic. So don't be afraid to drop those masks that you put up in this surrender card. Because when you do, you get brought into this Queen of Wands energy that everyone is attracted to. And I don't mean just physically, right? But looked up to. The parts of you that are normally you're afraid to show, when you start showing them, people will just have even more respect and adoration for you. Your truth is your strength. And this Queen and King, for that matter, are both doers. They're in control, right? But before we talk too much on it, let's go back to this oracle card that they support, right? So we have Elven Ones with a message of, it says at the bottom here, divine creation codes, starborn architects, devas, and sacred geometry. And I love this card being supported by these strong ruling wands energies, right? Because the Elven Ones are helping you in your 3D work, right? This is our earth energy to manifest in a way we can work with. And being supported by the Queen and King of Wands is really saying that as long as you can surrender these parts of yourselves, right, that you know don't really belong to your identity, then your strength will come through strongly to create, to do. You are setting yourself up to receive creation codes and become architects for your own reality. This is the energy of stepping up and into your power. I really see 2024 as being a very good year for creation and doing, like actually doing these creative ideas that you have, like putting them into motion within the collective. I mean, the King of Wands is suited to whatever task is thrown at him, right? This is the energy of, it doesn't matter what challenges come your way. You can dodge them, go around them. It won't stop you from reaching your goals, right? And this is possible because you have or currently are releasing the energies, patterns, and habits that hold you back. And when you release them, you get catapulted forward. So 2024 feels good. So the crystal energy that's come through is amber, with a message of empowerment, healing, and letting go. Really supportive of this surrender energy and the Elven Ones. It's very interesting, as amber is the fossilized resin from trees, and it carries wisdom and connection to our ancestors. So working with amber can really bring us this ancient wisdom from the Elven Ones, but also support in this healing, right? Like it says on the card, and letting go of the surrender card. And then amber carries the sun energy, right? It's worked with as a solar crystal that carries the energy of fire. So this is a perfect crystal to work with through 2024 with all of this strong Wands energy that we have coming through to help support us in making things happen, right? And that energy of being able to make things happen in 2024 is coming through really strongly for us, right? And this card is being supported by the King of Wands energy and divine wisdom, right? And this card of divine wisdom, it's not in a normal tarot deck. This is an extra card that has been created for this particular deck. And this is Goddess Isis depicted on this card with so much symbology around her. So first off, Isis is, in Egypt, she is like the Mary figure that births the sun god. So really perfect support for this fire energy, because what better support can you have for the fire energy than the mother of the sun, right? And the father. And we've got her over here again as the queen. And she's got the Orphic egg over her head. She's got the caduceus. These are symbols that connect us to our divine nature, right? Our link to the stars. And this really brings me back to this Elven Ones card, right? As it brings up divine creation codes and starborn architects. And this divine wisdom card is all about activating and reclaiming our sovereignty, right? Which is what we're talking about stepping up and into in 2024. So anything that's holding you back from this, there is huge support at this time in the release so that we can start 2024 or the next moon phase, however you like to work with things, but we are really stepping up for this new period. The Divine Wisdom card talks on our cellular memory and how we already carry all the wisdom within us. So personally, I will definitely be looking at working with a piece of amber specifically to help tap into this wisdom. It all ties in so perfectly together. So this is definitely something that I would recommend we all do. And that is this week's reading. But it has, like I said at the beginning, it's definitely ended up being kind of an end of year reading with surrender and a peek into what 2024 will bring for us with this release. So what an exciting year it will be. You know, realistically, I'm sure with many challenges along the way, but so nice to get this energetic read beforehand that's really signaling to a strong, positive year. I'm really looking forward to it. So wishing you all the best. And I suppose with that, I will speak to you next year. It really wasn't my intention going into this reading, but this really feels like this is kind of the last reading of the year for the collective. So yeah, I will speak to you all in 2024. Enjoy these last days. The release work isn't always easy, but it also doesn't have to be hard, right? Focus on your gratitude and knowing how good letting go is for you. That can really help ease our perspective during this shedding period. So that's it. Bye, guys.